All right. So I have been in music for a while now. Yeah, see, you see that years in it. And I have heard both sides of this debate, from the reasonable side to the extreme sides of both of them. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all need to get alive. Stop dying on this hill. And I'm just here to give out my 2 cents on it and finally have a end in my brain of it. Of is music theory needed? Do we need music theory in a modern time in the music world? Short answer is yes. But it's not how it has been traditionally been needed, because there's a lot of stuff that is in music. I think that just knowing the music basics would be the best way to know all of it. And all these are my personal experiences and opinions navigating through music. So you can agree with it, disagree with it, take it with a grain of salt, add anything to it, or correct me if I get something wrong, because I'm going off with that. What do I mean about the basics of music theory? When I think of the basics of music theory, I'm thinking like the name of the notes, the pitch, which if it's in tune or out of tune, the rhythm, harmony, dynamics, reading a little bit, and just comprehension, and scales. I'm going to put a little asterisk on scales because of there's a lot to it. If you're doing like the major and minor ones, then yeah, there's like a whole different mode of music theory of scales out there in the world. Personally, I don't think you need to know every single one of them. It all depends on basically where you want to navigate of it. If you know those basics of music theory, then it's up to you whatever your creative brain just want to do. You just go from there. I see it as just how everything works in music. Like, all right, this is how rhythm works in music. These are the basics and all that stuff. Then it's just up to you to create whatever ones that you want to do. I know traditionally it wasn't taught like that. It mainly felt like a set in stone, a way you have to do the music. No. In the modern time now, that thing has been a little bit debunked of it, because if you're doing recording music or recording arts, then you're not too well concerned about the classic of how they're recording. So just thinking about that is just now you just gotta know of like what add-ons do you need for your musical journey, because it's different for everyone. Because you don't have to know frequencies and all that stuff if you're doing like performing music. But if you are doing like audio or sound engineering, then that is something that is matter to you. That matters in your space of it. And if you're doing like sectional work, then you probably have to know a whole lot of sight reading, or just have a good ear, just to, how the direction goes and all that stuff. And even when it comes to sampling, there's a theory to that. There is a musical theory to it. It's just knowing like how they did it, what's the basics, and then you go from there. So that one require a little bit of knowing a little history and a little bit of just of like how it sounds sonically. And then you just got to use that creative part of your brain. Use it. It's okay to be creative and experiment. So if you're experimenting on a few musics, hey, it works. Whatever it does, it works. I know this like counter offer of like people thinking like, oh, I don't need theory and stuff like that. They just go off of the style of the music genre that they're learning. And I'm just like, well, that is music theory in itself, kind of. Because you are basically learning the style, the techniques of how to do like a certain artist. So if I wanted to do like a Alicia Keys song, and it doesn't apply to the perfect, like the major or minor scales, because there's something like, hey, wait a minute, what is this happening? Then you'll know of it if you know the basics of music of it kind of deal. The only reason why I said Alicia Keys because if you know me, I'm a fan. And that will conclude of like different techniques and all the rhythmical stuff that you just want to think about of it when it comes to the music. Every technique, skills, especially live. All of that has a whole theory to it. Just like if you're doing video production, there are some basic things that you have to know about your camera to order to have like really decent quality footage, or your footage will just look like this. It also applies to pictures too. Doing like car maintenances or knowing how to drive. You learn the basics of driving, and then you just go from there. That's basically all I have to say and think about when it comes to it. So the answer is yes. In a modern time, you do need music theory to help you just get the understanding of music. Just get the idea of what music is, how this work, how blank blank work. And then whatever else you want to go from there is up to you. Comment down below if you want to add anything. Correct me if anything I did wrong. If you agree to me, disagree, let's have the conversation in the comments down below. And I'll see y'all next time.